So today on Homeland Merlot, we are trying a new French wine. I'm on my French wine.
Yes, we are. Okay, this is called Aberté Ran. I don't know how to pronounce that, so French people, if you hate me, I understand. But I will say that it is from, I don't know.
It's from France.
It's from France, but usually where? Okay, it does not say. But it is French, and it doesn't say anything about it.
Okay, so I'll tell you a little bit because I do research
There.
that. So Côte de Rhône is by Aberth Rain is the name of the company that makes it. It's a French wine. It is 13.8% alcohol by volume. So hooray, French people, for hooking us up with that level of alcohol in a wine. It's going to get you good and trash, good and quick. All right, so a little bit about Côte de Rhône. It says it has golden yellow with silver tints. With the smell, the nose opens up with white and yellow fruit aromas, including Marabella plum. Well, I don't know what that is. Peach and lemon jam. Alrighty. And it says sip honey and floral aromas bring complexity to the fresh stone fruit notes. There's a lovely sense of balance between the aromatic freshness of the fruit and the sensation of sweetness on this dry wine. Pair with rich cream-based seafood dishes or pasta.
Oh, I love it.
Yay!
Bit of a Mediterranean flavor going on there. I love it. All right,
Okay,
let's
so
smell
we're
it.
gonna smell it.
Smells good. I do feel these French aromas entering my nostrils, and I have to say that it's quite a pleasant ride. This is a flavor roller coaster, and we are definitely reaching the high point, and we're going down nice and smooth.
Yeah. Okay, so I agree. I'm gonna give the smell a 5.
Yeah, I'd give it a 5 too.
Oh, I got some in my nose. It's so good.
All right, now the color. I mean, it's a white wine. Honestly, it doesn't look anything. It is golden, so like the gold that they mentioned earlier is here. Personally, I give it about a 4. Like shit. Like what else can you really say about it? It's a white wine and it's golden.
Okay, so I'm gonna give the color a 5. It's beautiful. I'm telling you, I'm switching from Portuguese wine. I'm gonna be on my French wine for the rest of the summer. But you know what's crazy though? French wines are expensive. This is like a $30 bottle.
I can believe that.
It's pretty expensive. So I'm gonna give this the color a 5. What about taste? Oh God, that's good.
Yeah, really smooth. I agree.
It's super refreshing.
Yes, it is. I would say so. I give it about a 5. So I think it's pretty much a 4.5 for me. I gotta say that.
You haven't given it any 4.5s. You've given it 5s across the board.
No, I gave the color a 4.
Oh, you did. You did. Okay. I'm gonna give it a 5. It's a 5 across the board for me. So overall, I think it's pretty much a 5.
Yeah.
Got way more 5s. So a 5 for Aberth Rain, Côte de Rhône. Cheers.
Cheers.
Topic is gonna be
Okay, since our viewer
should Joe Biden step down and give the baton basically to Kamala Harris, because there's really no other way to go.
Listen, the answer is no. Democrats are being dumb. Democrats need to be like Republicans and just ignore the media, okay? Ignore the hand-wringing. These are pundits, mostly white men who just want drama. They have nothing intelligent to say. There's all bullshit. Listen, okay? Like, is Joe Biden too old? Sure, I guess, whatever. Who cares? Like, honestly, but so is Trump, one. And then secondly, here's the thing. All these white people, and they're mostly white people, who want Joe Biden to step down, all want to skip over Kamala and have an open primary 4 months before the election. That's insane.
Which is insane. It's not going to work.
Yes.
Okay, so I said in the previous episode that maybe Gavin Newsom should get the ticket. But you know what I think?
No,
hold on. Just relax. Let me finish. But I think after much thought, because I've been panicking, just like everybody else in liberal news world, MSNBC is going crazy. CNN is pretty much going crazy. Basically, I thought about it and I was like, wait a minute. I'm actually a cable news junkie. I'm not even a news junkie for real. And I watch MSNBC all day long. It is my go-to. It is literally Joe and Mika in the morning. It goes to, I think, Andrea Mitchell.
Man,
and
fuck them Republicans, Joe and Mika. Am I wrong?
Yeah, they kind of.
They're Republicans.
They do.
And
come
Joe
across,
Biden's
right?
and Joe Biden is dumb for taking their opinions seriously on anything.
No, but he called in the other day. I should have had a clip ready for y'all, but okay. So I'm a news junkie, and what I realized is, oh my God, I'm gonna vote for Joe no matter what. I'm a liberal cable news junkie, and I was gonna vote for whoever was a Democrat, regardless of who they put on the ticket. It's the rest of the country that doesn't watch the news, that doesn't follow world politics, that's not following like local politics or anything like that, that's working, not paying attention until maybe the last couple of months, that are not going to know who Gavin Newsom is. I know who Gavin Newsom is because I watch fucking cable news all day. So, Gavin Newsom is an up-and-coming Democrat. He's probably a future president. He's the governor of California. California, if you don't know, is one of the largest states and also one of the biggest money producers in America. I've said it before, there's a few states in this country that pump and make all the money. The rest of the states literally leech off the teats of the rest of these states.
You mean red state socialism, how red states steal money from blue states.
And then they don't want to vote Democrat. It's California, Illinois, New York, Florida, Texas, Washington State maybe, and maybe a little bit of Michigan.
No, and also New York and New Jersey.
Oh yeah, New York and New Jersey.
And Illinois.
I said Illinois, right?
Okay, well, never mind.
Right, but other than that, listen, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Nebraska,
Kentucky gets more money from the federal government.
South Dakota. What is your GDP for your state? Like $2? What do you guys even make over there?
Listen, all right, like
maybe Georgia makes some money. I think Georgia makes some money.
Nah, but like, listen,
Georgia has Atlanta.
No, but listen, Kentucky gets more money than like any other all the foreign aid we give to other countries pales in comparison to the money that we give Kentucky. And here's the thing. That's actually not a bad thing.
Mobile, Alabama?
No.
What do y'all make over there in Alabama?
No, stop. Like, listen, all right? Like,
I'm being for real. They don't pump any money into the economy. They take money from the economy.
I like shit. Like, what I would say is that, like, the thing is that, like, blue states are just economically more successful. Because we have policies in place that focus on humans rather than just wealthy people, okay? And no, wealthy people are not human, right?
But what I was trying to say is the reason why I know who Gavin Newsom is because I watch the news all day. So I know who, like, is up, and, like, I should have known better, and I should have known that Kamala's time is up. It's actually her turn. No, it's her turn.
Oh, okay.
To get the baton to run for the Democratic ticket.
Here's the thing, though. One, Joe Biden has ran for president 3 times. That white man is not going to give up that fucking thing for anything.
Wow.
Joe Biden.
That's rude.
Joe Biden could fall down.
I don't know that.
Joe Biden could fall down the stairs and be in a coma, and he'd still say, like, as his dying wish, "No, I want to be president."
I got it. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm president.
I'm up for it. I'm up for the job.
And here's the thing, okay? Honestly, even if he, like, steps down, it's gonna go to Kamala. These people who are like, oh, it could go to somebody else. No,
it can't.
No, it has to go to Kamala.
It would be one of the worst mistakes if they're even thinking about doing a convention.
And here's the thing. No candidate for 2028 like Gavin Newsom, Gretchen Whitmer, J.B. Pritzker, Wes Moore, okay?
No, of Maryland, by the way.
Yes. All 4 of them are not going to be dumb enough to try to be president in 2024. That's stupid. Those people are smart, and they're all charismatic. They're all going to just wait for 2028 when they can all actually run a real campaign.
And actually what it is, okay, so I follow politics enough to know, like, who's kind of next. I think they're teeing it up for Gavin in 2028.
Well, here's the thing.
If you ask, actually not 2028. Right now, Kamala should take over, give the baton to Kamala. I don't think she can pick Gavin Newsom, by the way, because they're from the same state. The VP actually has to come from another state. They have to be living in another state. So Gavin's probably not going to get it if she takes the ticket. So...
Doesn't that suck?
Oh, but if it was, oh my God. Wouldn't that be amazing?
No, not really.
Why?
You have an uncharismatic cop.
Who?
Kamala.
She's uncharismatic. charismatic?
Yes. Kamala Harris is not a charismatic woman.
Would you vote for her if she was on the ticket?
Yes, definitely. But I wouldn't call her charismatic. That's like Hillary Clinton. I voted for Hillary Clinton. I would never call Hillary Clinton charismatic.
You don't think she's more charismatic than Hillary?
I mean, I think she's more charismatic than Hillary, but I don't think Kamala Harris is a particularly charismatic woman. And here's the thing. I admit how we view charisma in American politics and American society is very gendered. Like, women are usually not considered to be charismatic because
we hate women in America. But go ahead.
No, that's true. But like, women aren't usually considered to be charismatic. But like, there are charismatic women.
Why do you hate this?
No, like AOC. AOC is a very charismatic woman. If I had to pick a Republican, Kim Reynolds, the governor of Iowa or Indiana, one of the two.
No idea who that is.
She's the Republican governor of Iowa or Indiana. She's very charismatic. Another charismatic woman, Maxine Waters, Cori Bush.
Maxine Waters, what is she, like 1,000,000 years old? Are you serious?
She's charismatic as shit. Have you listened to her?
Yeah, but she's too old to run. I'm talking about people that could actually run.
No,
I think we're getting besides the point.
I'm just saying, like, Kamala Harris to me is not a very charismatic person. If anything, she's like a kind of a female Joe Biden. She's very gaffe prone herself.
Gaffe?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna let that go. First of all, okay, when Kamala was running, when she was running for the presidency against Joe Biden back in 2020, when it was the primaries, I guess it was pre-2020, right? When they were doing the primaries, I was very impressed with her. And I watched her when she was in the Senate. She is a firecracker.
She is.
She's not just like, okay, she might be a little bit, quote unquote, what I would say that people would call too much. But it's because she knows what she's talking about.
Her dumbass.
Kamala is a policy wonk. She's the former Attorney General of California.
No, she is a policy wonk.
So she's a bona fide lawyer.
Yes, she is.
All right, and an Attorney General for a state is basically the top lawyer.
Yes, she's very successful.
She's the top lawyer of the state.
Yes, she's very competent and successful.
She's very competent within the law, and she's a competent individual that is able to execute law. All right, and she knows how to read it, and she knows how to execute it, and she knows how to write law because she's a former senator. And I've said before, I know people don't know what Congress does. All right, House of Reps and senators are mostly lawyers, and they're literally lawmakers. They read law and they make law, and they make sure law is passed and it's recognized, and so on and so forth. Right? Kamala Harris is a very astute individual that is very much ready for the job, and she is the next one on the ticket. So
yep.
Let's talk about what has happened to Joe Biden basically since the debate, because the last time we talked it was post-debate. All right, so after the debate, there were a lot of calls, like alarm bells going off in the Democratic Party.
Well, hold on. Well, let's get some context. So, you probably saw the debate. It was bad.
It was abysmal.
Joe Biden did this thing where he just kept his mouth open while Trump was talking. Here's the thing.
The word is agape. Google it.
Yeah, it's just like, it's like, Joe, you look dumb. And I seriously, he looked dumb. Right. Like, you know how, like, toddlers and kids will just sit there and just be like...
No, and you know what it was? Okay, look. I know that Joe maybe doesn't see it. I think, like, okay, we're all kind of narcissists, even if it's not, like, on a high level, all right? When we look in the mirror, we see something different than what other people see, right? Like, when I look in the mirror, I'm always like, oh my God, I look so good. I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that look at me and go, yeah, she's all right. But me, when I look in the mirror, I think I look great, right? Because I put a certain amount of effort into what I look like.
There we go.
Joe, the same way. He looks in the mirror every day, and he's like, I got this hot wife. I don't care what you say. Joe Biden looks good. Okay? He's the most powerful man in the world. He most certainly is. If you haven't heard, if America wants to take over our country, like, okay, they're in a rush, and it's over for whoever is going to get it.
Unless you're the Taliban.
So I'm just saying, in general, America has a lot of power, right? He's at the top of a very big organization which literally runs the world, all countries. Like, the United States is one of those countries where if you don't have an alliance with the United States, like Cuba and North Korea, who else does have an alliance? Iran,
China.
No, China. We owe them a lot of money. We have an alliance with them. Trust and believe.
We don't have an alliance with China.
But we owe them a lot of money, so there is an alliance. The alliance is money based, but it's not an alliance, but there's an alliance.
No, we're in a trade war with China right now.
Anyway, there's an alliance. I believe there's an alliance with China because they want their money that they ain't never gonna get from us. We owe y'all too much. You're not getting none of this money. We just gonna leave that debt right there. Anyway, so who else doesn't have an alliance with the United States? That's like their economy is just trash because the United States is like, Haiti.
Haiti is different.
Hey, well, I'm just saying, if you don't have an alliance with the United States, if you don't bow down to the eagle,
I mean,
your country is, as Rami says, cooked. So
I don't know, because the last president of Haiti was a U.S. pawn.
Yeah, because they're not bowing down. Hello. So, anywho, what I'm trying to say is Joe Biden looks in the mirror every day and he goes, you know what? If I don't like what's going on in Haiti, I could just cause a coup and change leadership in 2 minutes. That's a pretty powerful, position to have. Let me get the bottle. Right? It's a pretty powerful position to have. If, George Bush, probably sat around with his advisors one day and he was like, we're running out of oil. Like, well, who has oil? Iraq has oil.
Okay.
Let's figure out a way to get that oil from over there.
Fran, you've been saying a lot of things I don't agree with in like the last 5 minutes. But this oil thing, that's definitely not true.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What happened?
No. America got high on its own supply. It was neoliberalism. Like, America did not invade Iraq for oil. That's a talking point that makes sense on paper, but not really.
You're talking really loud. You got to come back a little bit.
America invaded Iraq because it truly thought it could spread democracy at the end of a gun barrel.
I mean, that was like the best part of the deal for them.
It wasn't really?
Yeah.
I mean, like, the country is still, like, kind of a mess,
I know.
Like, shit. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not a Saddam apologist. Saddam led a genocide against the Kurds. All right, he's a monster.
Yes. Okay, so, and that's very true, by the way. I mean, I know we're getting besides the point, and I'm going to get serious now. Saddam Hussein was killing the Kurdish people. He killed his own brother. He actually was a terrible human being.
Yes, very much so.
He killed an inordinate amount of people. Like, he really was a terrorist. So Saddam Hussein himself was a terrible representative of the Iraqi people. And it was wonderful that he was erased from this planet because he was not a good person. What?
It's just, just your statement. He was a terrible representative of the Iraqi people.
So he was.
No, it's just funny how you put that. That makes me laugh. It's just that statement. It's just, it's like he's their worst guy. And honestly, he probably is their worst guy. I don't disagree with you. It's just funny. Like how
right. So I mean, when he was taken off, when the United States executed him, it was very unfortunate. But as far as I've heard, he was a pretty awful person.
Hilariously.
Now, what has happened to the Iraqi people, however, was really bad. I mean, our country got pretty much leveled, and and then after 20 years, we kind of just rolled out. Anywho, we're
still in Iraq.
We're still in a lot of places, but nobody knows. We're getting off topic. Like I said, the United States has a lot of power. Joe Biden looks in the mirror every day and goes, "Oh my God, I have all this power," and at a push of a button, like, he could just decimate like spaces. You know what I mean? He's the president of the United States. He can make a lot of things happen, and he can make a lot of things not happen. And I think for him, when he looks in the mirror, he sees a robust leader that's good looking and, forthcoming and honest, and he doesn't see the person that we're seeing on the television. what we're seeing is not what Joe sees. Just like I said, what you see in the mirror is not what other people see.
No, very
Just
true.
like what I see in the mirror, which is a fabulous black girl magic all day long, right? Is not what everybody is gonna see. So I think for him, he doesn't understand what other people are seeing. He's like, I'm doing great at the press conferences. I didn't do that bad at the debate. The debate was abysmal. You know why his mouth was open like that? He was just in shock at what Donald Trump was saying. But at the same time, he was sick, and also he's just old.
He's 81.
That's what old people look like. And what they've done since the debate is like they've put orange face on this man, by the way. He has so much caked up orange face, he's starting to look like Donald Trump, and it's so weird. It's like we make fun of Donald Trump for being orange, and now Joe is orange.
You know, I think also Joe had no killer instinct in that debate at all.
No, he didn't.
He
He
should have
lost
just
it.
he
He
should have
lost it.
like all right, so let me tell you something. Democrats are policy people. At our core, we are technocrats. We are people who like policy, we
Yeah.
like ideas, and
We
we
sure
like
do.
trying to create ideas and policies that help people.
Yes.
Being a Republican is easy. You don't like Republicans don't care about anything except power. Like, so Republicans don't actually have a vested interest in helping people. Republicans don't really have any ideas on how to solve any problems facing the average American. That's why Republicans do things like attack trans people, even though your average American doesn't really think about trans people ever. You know what I mean? And like, trans people are great. Don't get me wrong. Like, Romney Jackson is an ally of trans people. Trans people are cool, but like,
Me too. Trans.
I'm just saying, like, Democrats fall into this trap all the time, where they will try to actually use these debates as like platforms to discuss policy differences, and like that's how we're going to beat the Republicans. We're going to share our policy ideas.
That's not how it's
and no,
done.
you don't beat Republicans by sharing policy ideas
No.
against them. You beat Republicans by calling them crazy and insane, because that's what they are. Like, Republicans are weird, insane fascists, and more Democrats, you just call it Republicans insane, weird fascists.
Okay,
you know
so-
what? Like, no, like, can I give you an example?
Sure.
Obama lost the first debate handily. I watched it as a kid. Obama lost the first debate to Mitt Romney. He lost it. Like, Mitt Romney cooked him. All right, like, yeah, like Obama got cooked in the first debate against
I
Mitt
don't
Romney.
remember that.
Because Obama's problem was that,
I was in love.
I mean, listen.
I was like, I don't care what he says, he's getting my vote.
Listen, you are a black woman over the age of 30. You are going to love Obama no matter
Also,
what he
wasn't
does.
a citizen back then, so I couldn't vote. So that's a lie. But go
No,
ahead.
I'm just saying, like Obama lost because he kept trying to debate Romney on policy, and that just doesn't work. You know what I mean?
Right,
And and honestly, Romney's one of the more policy-focused Republicans, to be frank with you. But that doesn't work. You don't beat Republicans by debating policy. So Obama realized this because Obama's smart. So Obama realized this, and for the second and third debate, he just called Romney what he was, an out-of-touch fat cat who doesn't care about anybody but big business and wealthy people. That's all he did.
And by the way, do you know one of the ways he kind of lost to the people? Apparently, there was a picture and or a news story that came out that he and his family,
Who, Obama or?
Romney, went on vacation and they got in their car and they put the car on the top of the car, like on top of the hood. That's where they put the dog.
Yeah, no, I remember that. And they put the dog on top of the hood.
Listen, and people were outraged because, like, it's so weird.
Yeah.
Like, why would you put your dog on the top of a hood? It doesn't even make any sense. And then to be super duper honest, Mitt Romney is a gazillionaire.
Oh, yeah, no.
alright? He
should-
works for Bain. Is it Bain? Bain
No,
something or the other?
no. Romney's wife gave like a interview once where she was like, "I remember when Mitt and I first met, and we'd have to count every penny at the kitchen table." And it was like Mitt Romney was a consultant for Bain, Bain Capital Group, like
Yeah.
BCG, one of the largest consulting firms, literally part of the big three.
And-
Romney Jackson, I am a consultant. MBB, McKinsey, Bain Consulting Group. All right, they're literally the big three. Romney was a consultant for the big three, and this man is fucking talking about how he was counting every penny. Now, don't get me wrong. All right, Most people are broke. Even most consultants, Rami Jackson included, are probably broke. You know what I mean? But like, no. Okay, yeah, sure.
I don't even have a car.
You have a car.
No, I don't.
But you have a nice apartment in Silver Spring, so you're not
Thank
not
you.
poor, okay? But like,
Definitely not poor, but I'm definitely not rich either.
no, but like Obama called Mitt Romney what he was, an out of touch, weird, wealthy fat cat.
Person.
Yeah,
He's just
for like 2 hours in every debate, and he won. He won each debate. Like, yeah, but you're a wealthy fat cat who's out of touch with the American people.
He's very out of touch.
Mm-hmm.
Mitt Romney, I think, is in touch when he says less. And just in general, Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan put forward a plan where they wanted to cut Medicare and Medicaid, and the seniors were like, no.
No,
I'm pretty sure that's one of the biggest ways they lost, because they wanted to cut a lot of what they call entitlement programs, which is what the Republicans always want to do. Entitlement programs are not entitlement programs.
You pay into them.
You have to understand that when they say we're cutting entitlements, it's like, okay, I started working when I was like either 14 or 15, I forget. I've been paying into the system since I was 14 years old. This is 30 years later. I've paid FICA, Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, and whatever else, a bajillion other tax crap that comes out of my check since I was 14 or 15 years old. And I'm just saying, when I get to a certain age and I need a little bit of help, I'm expecting my freaking money to come back to me. Otherwise, you should have just let me keep all my goddamn money. And maybe keep some for highways and, I don't know, maybe like public schools, because you can't have kids out here all on the road like all fucking crazy and shit. Like, they gotta go somewhere to do something. But you didn't have to take as much out of my check. You could have just left my Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, and let me keep that. So if you're not gonna give us that, then whatever. But that's why they lost. They lost because they wanted to make major cuts to entitlement programs, which are really programs that we all pay into if you're working legally.
So remember, viewer, that's the biggest scam in the world. It's not an entitlement. It's your
not.
own money
No,
helping you.
it's an insurance policy.
Yes.
It's literally what you're paying into.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so basically we're going to talk a little bit about post-debate. So post-debate...
Biden had a
What's
awkward
this?
interview with George Stephanopoulos.
No. Before that. So post-debate, Biden had a rally, I forgot where. And the rally was really, really good. And people were like, oh my God, where was this guy last night? It was literally like the next day.
And I remember what you're talking about. Yes, I was in Mexico at the time, but I think I saw like a clip of it.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Like, I was watching it at home and I was like, is this a clone? Because last night that guy was coughing. You couldn't hear him because he was so hoarse. He didn't have good makeup on. He looked really out of it. And Donald Trump didn't even do well, like I said in the last episode.
Yes, Fran.
He lied
yeah.
for the whole time. He lied. He said the craziest things. Biden did not call him out on most of the lies that
Yes.
he told, and it was so frustrating. Like, he would say crazy stuff, so much crazy stuff.
Trump would say shit like, there are 20 billion Mexicans attacking the Statue of Liberty right now.
20 billion. Oh yeah, yeah, for real.
There are 20 billion.
And Joe Biden's just doing like this
You're like,
with his mouth agape. Again, Google agape. AGAP. And all it is it was just poor planning, poor. Honestly, they didn't get a good makeup
no, but you know what? Honestly,
they didn't get a
no,
good
but you know
makeup
what?
artist for him.
Also, again, Joe Biden makes the mistake that Democrats always make in every presidential debate. They keep treating Republicans like they're a serious opposition. No, you need to call them crazy. Listen, when Mark Kelly, senator from Arizona, went up against this I forgot his name. There's this weird guy. There was this weirdo fascist who's connected with Peter Thiel, who's a very wealthy far-right, alt-right billionaire. There's this weirdo fascist who went up against Mark Kelly. Mark Kelly is the current senator from Arizona. He's a former astronaut. He's a cool guy.
Oh, that's the
Blake something.
Who was his
Blake
wife?
Masters, yes. He went up against Blake Masters. Mark Kelly versus Blake Masters. Mark Kelly in every debate did it perfectly. They would debate, and Mark Kelly would just be like, Blake Masters is a weird Nazi who literally wants to like make sure women have no rights. And like Blake Masters will respond, and he's like, and Mark Kelly would just say again, Blake Masters is a weird Nazi who wants to make sure that women have no rights. And like he was right, because Blake Masters literally posted a video of him firing a Nazi pistol in the desert, trying to be cool. And like, here's the thing with the far right, they think shit like that is cool, and the average American's like, the fuck is this? Like this is just a dude firing a gun in a desert, and I'm supposed to vote for him? Like this is insane. So Blake Masters is like, I support gun control, and then Mark Kelly's like, Mark Kelly again. Blake Masters is a weird Nazi who wants to make sure that women have no rights. And guess who won the election? Mark Kelly. Now he's in the Senate.
Right, and Mark Kelly is the husband of Gabby Giffords.
Yes, and she was shot.
Right, and Gabby Giffords was shot about almost a decade ago. And the story behind that is during the Obama election, Obama versus McCain, things got a little heated and weird. And a lot of the Republicans kind of became fanatics, and some Republican fanatic went to Gabby Giffords, who was, I think, a House rep.
She was in, yes, and she was doing a rally and shot her
in the head. It was so weird. I was listening to NPR, and they were just like, breaking news, like Representative Gabby Giffords has been shot in the head. I didn't even know who she was. But when this story came out eventually, I was like, yo, the Republicans have lost it. They've literally lost it, but we're getting off track.
No, but I'm just saying, Joe Biden should have went on camera and been like, Donald Trump is a convicted felon.
Yes.
He should have.
Yes.
He should have said that
over and over.
Trump should have said something. Trump could have
34 felony counts and counting, and the only reason why he wants to win is so that he can beat these cases, because the Supreme Court is corrupt.
Yes.
And they're trying their best to let him get away with what it is they can let him get away with.
Yes.
The only reason that guy is running is because he's running from cases. He's not running for anybody. He's not creating any policies that's going to help anybody. And he should have asked them, what policies are you putting forward?
No, Fran, again, you're another Democrat falling into the trap. Do not argue policy with Republicans. Just say Donald Trump is a convicted felon who was convicted
of rape as well,
stealing American nuclear secrets. Okay, numerous other felonies.
Yes.
All right, like stop. Like Donald Trump.
The 4 court cases are one with campaign finance fraud, 34 felony counts. Taking classified documents to his home, hundreds of documents, maybe even thousands.
And again,
we don't even know.
Not even just boilerplate American class, because a lot of things. Because here's the thing: a lot of things that are classified are bullshit. Like, they're not that interesting. Donald Trump literally stole nuclear secrets. Okay.
Oh yeah, and bona fide plans, like about like American contingency plans. This guy is out of his mind. The other court case in Georgia is about him trying to steal Georgia election by calling, I think it was Ben Roethlisberger, I forgot his name.
Not Ben Roethlisberger, the football player.
Oh God, wrong person. Nonetheless, he called one of the representatives in Georgia and asked him to get him 10,000 votes, and it was recorded.
Yes.
He literally tried to get a representative who was overlooking the election to like, just find me 10,400 or some odd votes or something.
I'm sorry.
It was so weird, but that's basically the case in Georgia, that they tried to steal the election, another election fraud. And what's the 4th case?
Some other crime. Like, he's a criminal. Fuck it. All right.
The guy is an absolute criminal. Like,
yes.
He does so. I can't believe. Can you Google? Do you mind Googling on your phone what the 4th case is? Because now I'm gonna be obsessed. He's a criminal, and he's always been a criminal. Okay, so basically, Joe. That's all Joe has to say. So basically, after Joe did the debate, he went on a rally. He was on George Stephanopoulos in an interview that didn't go too well. George.
Okay, so hush money. Classified documents.
Okay, that's the second
Georgia election interference, the federal election interference, where Donald Trump was accused of.
Oh, and then the January 20th.
January 6th.
January 6th. Sorry, January 6th.
Yes, where he led a terrorist attack, and again,
Led a
it was
coup.
not a mob. It was a terrorist attack. Okay,
It was not a terrorist attack. It's an attempted coup.
it's both. Like that little girl says on that taco commercial from decades ago. All right, it is both. Why can't it be both? You know, I forget how to say it in Spanish, so I won't try.
I don't know taco commercial. I don't eat tacos.
No, the one with
Watch,
the
like,
famous
wine.
taco commercial with the little girl, where they're like soft shell, hard shell, and then she's like, "Why not both?" But in Spanish, and then like everyone lifts her up, like, "Yay!" You know what I mean? Like, fuck.
I don't know what you're talking. Anywho, so the George Stephanopoulos interview didn't go too well. Then after the Stephanopoulos interview, more people asked him to step down. So I'm going to read through the list of people that have basically are calling for. These are the Democrats that are calling for Joe Biden to step down. And on top of this list, we also have other people that are not part of the party. George Clooney.
No, hold on. I got smoke for George Clooney because he can tell Joe Biden to step down, but he can't tell Brad to not hit his wife and his children.
Were you there? Did you see him hit his wife and children?
The fuck is that? Is that what?
I'm asking you something. Did you see it?
Did I see it?
Did you see
Oh,
it?
okay. So I didn't see it, so it didn't happen. I didn't see OJ murder his wife. So what? He's free.
Did you see it?
No, OJ.
Do you know if he killed her?
Yes.
You know for sure.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
Was he found guilty?
This man wrote a book.
Was he found guilty?
Oh, okay. Wait, what? Are we
Was he
really doing
found-
this?
Yes, we're doing this.
We're really fucking doing this.
Yes.
So because he was not found guilty, he didn't do it. The fuck?
But we don't know if he wasn't found guilty.
The fuck? Oh, friend, this is dumb. I'm not gonna argue with you about this.
Okay, wow, that was very rude. I'm just telling you that if you haven't been found guilty, I'm so sorry by a court of your peers, unlike Donald Trump, who's been found guilty of 34 felony counts. We're moving along. So, George Clooney has called for Biden to step down. As we know, Hollywood always likes to chime in. Those rich people in the Hollywood Hills, we all Democrats, we always appreciate y'all chiming in because y'all all super liberals, right? The New York Times has called for Joe Biden to step down.
They're not even liberal. Like, fuck the New York Times.
No,
They
but
suck.
they're calling for him to step down. Stop. So they used to be liberal, by the way. So don't go there. So these are the Democrats that are calling for Joe Biden to step down. Representative Jim Himes was the last one, as far as I was watching television, that has asked him to step down. I think he's part of his intelligence committee that kind of advises him on foreign stuff, foreign intelligence things.
The House Intelligence Committee.
House Intelligence Committee. So that was Representative Jim Himes has asked him today. Representative Marie Gluesenkamp Perez, Representative Greg Stanton, Representative Ed Case, Representative Brad Schneider, Representative Hillary Scholten, Senator Peter Welch, Representative Earl Blumenauer,
And-
Representative Pat Ryan, Representative Mickey Sherrill, Representative Adam Smith, Representative Angie Craig, Representative Mick Quigley, yesterday, I was watching my favorite Republicans, Joe and Miko. They were interviewing Nancy Pelosi, and Nancy Pelosi, they asked her, "Do you think he should step down?" And she basically said, I will support whatever Joe Biden would like to do." And that, to me,
You know what? I respect that. Dodge the fuck out of that question, Nancy.
she didn't just-
Nancy was like, "Whoop."
No, but the thing about it is, Nancy Pelosi is one of the top dogs in the Democratic Party. All right, Nancy Pelosi was Speaker of the House twice. I've said it before. The Speaker of the House is second in line to the presidency. If the president
Or third in line.
Second. Okay, stop. It's a second in line. If the president dies, the first person in line is the vice president. The second person in line is the Speaker of the House.
Okay.
So if the president and the vice president, for some odd reason, ever died or ever were incapacitated, Nancy Pelosi, three different long-term speakerships was second in line to the presidency, which is a pretty powerful position. As I've said before too, all the laws that are made in this country start in the House of Representatives. This is one of the most important bodies in the United States. These are the people that make the budgets for the country, and these are the people that make the laws, that change the laws Okay, so it starts in the Senate, it goes to the House. I mean, to the House. Sorry, it starts in the House, goes to the Senate, and then from the Senate, it goes to the president. The president signs something into law. So the House of Representatives is basically representatives from each district in the whole country, and each district sends a representative to Congress, and that is basically where they fight it out to figure out what we're gonna do and how we're gonna make policy work and things like that. All right, so the question still is, and we're not getting to it, is should Joe step down? So after the George Stephanopoulos interview, Harris and others and Newsom and other people went out and were rallying for Joe. Kamala was asked, "Are you in support of Joe Biden?" And she said, "I'm Joe Biden's running mate, and I support the president." Then Biden went to the NATO conference, which was basically pretty much most of this week in
NDC. They shut down all Mount Vernon Square.
Listen to you.
No, seriously.
Listen to your grievances.
No, not a grievance. I'm happy. That makes my commute shorter.
Okay, good. So there was a NATO conference which is basically the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, is comprised of 32 countries. It's basically all of the Western alliances, which means Western Europe, which includes the big countries in Europe, which is basically it's basically just.
Well, so you have a lot of partners.
France and Spain.
But you also have partners from the former Soviet Union, Estonia, Latvia, and I forgot the third.
Poland is one of them.
No, Poland is one
of them.
No, but like the Baltic states, I forgot the third Baltic state. Damn. Estonia, Latvia.
Lithuania.
Oh, Lithuania. There we go. Yes.
Okay, so you're welcome. That's.
Then you got Turkey as well.
Private school.
But here's the thing: the NATO summit was a success. It was internationally seen as a success. European diplomats said that Joe Biden was cogent. He was.
Hold on, I didn't list the rest of the countries.
Oh, there's no point in doing that.
So the other countries are the United States, of course, Canada. Does NATO have any South American countries?
No, they do have NATO partner alliances with, but I mean, like honestly, NATO's a white person's club essentially.
Wow.
I mean, it is should.
That's rude.
No, hold on. Unless Japan is, can you Google Japan and South Korea part of NATO? I think Japan might be, but I don't think South Korea is.
No, they're not part of it. I don't think so.
I think Japan's part of NATO.
NATO?
Is Japan part of NATO? I know Japan's not part of NATO.
I think Japan. Okay, let's Google it now, but I highly doubt it.
Okay, well, the NATO summit was seen as a success. Joe Biden announced that he's going to move missiles into Germany, which
is a bad sign, by the way.
Which pissed off the Russians. The Russians were not happy.
Does.
We're not happy about that.
Okay, so is Japan.
Here's the thing. Joe Biden is a foreign policy master. And also, Joe Biden has been one of the most effective presidents of the last few decades because he's really had the Senate and congressional legislation experience that other presidents just did not have. Trump was a billionaire, and Trump's first presidency was largely a failure because he didn't understand how the government worked. Obama didn't get a lot of stuff done either because even though he was a senator, he was only a senator for a very short time before he ran for president. You know, as the old adage is, there's two types of senators and people who want to run for president, and Obama was definitely the latter.
All right, so you're gonna have to read this. So Japan and NATO signed the Individual Tailored Partnership Program in 2023.
So Japan is not part of NATO.
Okay, all right, and I highly doubt South Korea is.
No, South Korea is not part of NATO then.
Okay, so they're part of another
No, they're close allies of the United States, but they're not parts. They're not because they're like Israel. Israel's not a part of NATO either. But going back to what I was saying. Essentially, Joe Biden is a foreign policy expert, but also he understands how the government works. So he's been a very effective president, more effective than most presidents have been in the last few decades. George Bush was governor of Texas, but that being the governor of a state is useful because you understand how an executive position works. But like, it doesn't really. The presidency is just a whole different beast. You know what I mean? And so. Joe Biden has had the federal experience necessary to be a good and effective president. He has. The problem with Joe is that he's not a good candidate, and that's his real weakness. Joe slurs his words. He's gaffe prone.
Leave him alone.
He's old.
We love Joe.
No, I like Joe Biden
Uncle
too,
Jojo,
except on Gaza where he's supporting a genocide. But other than that, like, am I wrong?
I have no comment.
Oh, okay, we can't criticize Israel. All right, never mind.
Nope.
So that's Joe's biggest weakness. And the problem with Trump is that like Trump isn't a good candidate either. And also he's a terrible like president.
He doesn't know anything about anything. The problem, okay.
Americans are superficial.
Stop.
Americans are superficial.
Donald Trump, the problem with Donald Trump is not a politician.
No, he's not.
That's number one.
But he's also an idiot. He's an idiot.
I think it's beyond that. Donald Trump is somebody, I think, who dabbles in things that make him more famous. I don't think he cares about being president. I think he cares about being relevant.
Yes.
And being on TV is like his thing. I feel like if he had a TV show or if somebody gave him like a network, like he would just disappear into his new space. His weirdo fans who love him would just go and support him and we could go about our lives. I honestly wouldn't care if any Republican that's in office right now was leading the ticket of the Republican Party other than freaking Trump because he's so unpredictable. That's the problem with him for me personally is that I can predict with a little bit of like obviously not everything, but typically you can predict what the Republicans are gonna do. They're going to start restricting abortion. They're going to cut taxes for the wealthy.
Stop black people from voting.
Yes, and anybody who's poor. They're going to try to restrict poor people. Don't just always throw black people. It's anybody who's poor, disenfranchised, blah, blah, blah. All right? They're going to make it easier to deregulate stuff. They're going to... The Republican playbook is predictable, as is the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party is going to relax the laws in certain... And not relax those. They're going to create more regulations for the environment because they believe in climate change. And they're going to, give women more rights. They're going to create more jobs for disenfranchised people. They're going to create programs that are going to help people. They're going to feed people. They're going to try to house people. They're going to try to create more programs. And that is where the fight is always here in the U.S. It's either we're leaning towards helping people and disenfranchised people, or we're helping the super wealthy and corporations.
And white people. Because that's what it really boils down to. It's all white supremacy.
Are white people the only people that are rich, Rami, in this country? In 2024?
Here's the thing.
I'm asking you a question.
No, I'm going to answer your question.
Are there rich black people now?
Yes, there are.
Are there rich Hispanic people now?
Yes, there are.
Are there rich Asians now?
Yes, there are.
Okay, so you can't just say, oh, it's all white people.
No, I can say, because white supremacy doesn't help most white people. That's the truth. All right? White supremacy has a class aspect to it as well. Oh. Now, all white people do benefit from white supremacy to a degree. But at the end of the day, white supremacy is really, most of the benefits go to the wealthiest of the white people. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay?
Okay, there you go. Okay, that's a good way of putting it. It's always good to be white adjacent or white in general in America because for all intents and purposes, that's for another conversation for another day. I don't want to really go into that.
Okay.
But we're talking about should Joe step down?
No, and can I say something, friend?
Sure.
I don't believe Joe should step down.
Okay.
Because for a few reasons. One, if Joe doesn't run a campaign but is still president, to me, that doesn't make logical sense. So you're telling me you're not mentally aware enough to run a campaign, but you can still be president? That doesn't work. That's my thinking. And here's the thing. Yes, LBJ did the same thing, but look how he ended up. That man literally left office and then died an alcoholic. Yes, Google it. Lyndon B. Johnson died drinking himself to death after he left the presidency.
Oh, he had a good time. Good for you, LBJ.
Yeah, sure. Secondly, Joe Biden is the incumbent, and incumbents have advantages in the American system. They have the name recognition, they have the platform.
Yes, they do.
Incumbents tend to win elections more.
Okay.
Incumbents tend to, if they lose, they tend to lose at lower rates than if they were just two random candidates who nobody knows, like two random motherfuckers running against each other. Those elections tend to be wildly disparate compared to an incumbent versus somebody new. The incumbent tends to do pretty well even if they do lose. You know what I mean? Because people are like, oh, I know you. I see you on TV.
Right, and that's what I was saying before. That's why Kamala should get the ticket. Okay, so you're saying Joe should not step down. Let me tell you the for me.
Can I just end with one thing?
Sure.
There are 4 months until this election. If y'all wanted Joe to step, if y'all were like, you know what, like if y'all said last September, Rami, we need Joe to step down. This man is too old. I'd be like, you know what, I agree. I would have shook your hand and we could have all gotten behind Kamala Harris and then like rode off into the sunset. No, I feel that.
If Pete Buttigieg is on that ticket behind Kamala, I'll feel more comfortable.
But here's the thing.
Pete Buttigieg cooks these freaking Republicans on the cable news networks. That's what you need to look up. Pete Buttigieg. He is from Minnesota.
No, he is from.
It's one of those
Iowa or
states.
Indiana, one of the two.
Indiana. He is from Indiana, and that guy is on fire. He's the secretary of the Department of Transportation. And let me tell you, when he gets
that McKinsey drone. I can't stand that motherfucker. I hate
who?
McKinsey drone.
Who's McKinsey?
McKinsey, the company that created the opioid crisis. Fuck no, them and the Sacklers. But fuck Pete Buttigieg. All right, no, seriously.
Oh, okay, now we're gonna fight.
Go ahead.
Let me
fuck,
take my
fuck
earrings
Pete
off.
Buttigieg.
Let me take my earrings.
Listen, and I'm not
Pete
even.
Buttigieg?
Yes, and here's the thing. I support Pete Buttigieg as Department of Transportation head. All right, that man has done a lot to promote trains. I will give Pete Buttigieg that. And as a train nut.
Oh, you're a trainer?
Oh yeah, I watched a whole video on how Nigeria's new train system is great. Like seriously.
Right, come to New York and sit down with my nephew because he watches New York City subway trains and other trains around the world all day. That's his new thing right now. You'd actually enjoy it. But anyway, that's besides the point. I love Pete Buttigieg. So you're saying Joe shouldn't step down because of name recognition?
Oh man, like also he just has a lot of benefits, and it's 4 months away from the election, and like him stepping down would just be chaos in the Democratic Party, and I don't think we would recover as a party quickly enough to win. And
You're saying Joe Biden should not step down. He should stay in the game because he has name recognition, and maybe Kamala does not have name recognition. Which
she has name recognition. I'll give Kamala this. I think most people know Kamala. Like most people know the vice president. Do they like expect?
I don't think so. By the way,
Nah, I don't disagree with that. I thought most people know the vice president.
really?
Yeah. Does the vice president actually do anything? No. In the words of like.
Excuse me, don't say that. The vice president does a lot.
No, there's some founding fathers to the vice president. He's probably like the most useless position in the American government. I forgot. Or something like this.
Okay, I'm gonna give a couple of the duties of the vice president. Okay, the vice president is the president of the Senate. So if there's a 50-50
Split, they break it.
They break it, and the vice president breaks the tie. And also the vice president takes on projects from the president.
Yes, because
So,
Kamala's in charge. Is in charge of immigration.
Yes, she
Now
is.
here's the thing: Kamala's been complete garbage on this, and I'm disappointed in her. No, because like again, she's promoting this American.
And we're staring at this instead of their back.
No, that's fair. She's promoting this.
Sorry, we've been staring at a computer all
That's on us. That's a good point.
That's because Marty's not here and he's not producing.
Yes.
Shame on you, Marty, for not being. Shame on you,
No, that's fair.
Marty.
But like like I'm disappointed in Kamala. Kamala is doing the same, same old with American immigration, where the white Ukrainians can come to America easy peasy, but Haitians, Guatemalans, and people from Central and Latin America are treated like absolute dog shit.
Oh my god.
It's am I wrong?
Probably not.
Like we have literally.
Okay, so I'll tell you why Rami's right. One of the things that they do in the media here that drives me absolutely bonkers is when they say illegal immigrants, they always show Hispanics.
Yes.
Do you know that there are white illegal immigrants in this country? All right, there is a white illegal immigrant group. All right, they're Canadians that come in here illegally from the border because they can easily come in here because I don't think they need a visa, right? Just like Americans don't need visas to go to Canada, and also there's a lot of Eastern Europeans that are here not legally. All right, and there are other groups of white people that come here and overstay and don't want to go home for whatever reason. Now there might not be as many because most of the most of them that come here actually have great white countries to go back to.
And also, real talk.
But the thing is, there are white illegal immigrants here, and they never talk about them. They always show Hispanics. They don't even show black people. By the way,
Well,
and there are black people here that are illegal too.
all
by
the time
from other countries.
No, but like here's the thing. Like, also to be fair, many of the Hispanic illegal immigrants identify as white.
Can we stop right there? What?
Yes.
I know that, by the way.
No, it's just it's just interesting. This is a whole conversation about how whiteness is different.
It's okay. It's a conversation for another day. But the
Yes.
reason, okay, so basically, I read an article a while ago. Forgot where I read it. It's probably, I forget what website. It was basically saying that the U.S. Census Bureau is finding that Spanish immigrants that are here, because basically it was like, hey, the white population is kind of going down, but a funny thing is kind of happening. Hispanics are starting to check off white on their census, their census stuff. So the Census Bureau in the United States basically gathers all the information and statistics about what's going on in the country. So, like I turned in a flyer this year. I forgot which one it was, but I was basically saying, hey, my name is Fran, last name. I'm one person that lives in this apartment. This is how much money I make. This is where I work. And they, and I'm black. That's so basically what it said, And all around the country, everyone basically has to, at some point, they'll harass you until they get you, by the way, to say, I'm Rami Jackson, I live here. Sorry, I didn't mean to give out your last name, but this is what I make, and this is how many people live in my house, and I'm black. That's pretty much it. There are other surveys, too, that go all around the country that kind of, like, accumulate information about basically how the country's doing, how much each household has, and what race and ethnicity we are, right? So we know what the population count is, and et cetera, et cetera. So they were found in this, what they were talking about in this article is a lot of Hispanics, all right? I'm talking about bona fide Hondurans and Guatemalans and Mexicans and Chileans, Argentinians, whatever. What are the other people there? Mexico, blah, blah, blah. They're like Nicaragua. They're identifying as white. So the count that's like, hey, like when they say, like when you watch TV and they're like, 44% of black female fetus, well, whatever, I don't know, like whatever, misdiagnosed pregnancies or whatever the negative statistic is, it's always like white people are doing better at this, and black people, oh my god, you're being so bad, and Hispanics, oh, you guys aren't as bad as the black people. Like when they're doing the statistical counts, it's typically probably coming from some kind of Census Bureau information, right? So let's say maternal health and maternal survival rates or things like that. When they're doing the count now with the Census Bureau, a lot of Hispanic people are identifying as white, which is throwing off the count because it's registering more white people than are actually here. All right? So basically, when Spanish people come here and I think they either look white or think they can pass for white, they check off the white box.
Well,
so we're going to go to questions. So
what's the last question? I'm kind of hungry, so I'm kind of like...
What are the benefits of Joe Biden staying... Okay, we actually already discussed that.
Yeah, we already discussed that.
Well, okay, so the last question is... Democrats do not stick together, and this drives me crazy. Why can't the Democrats stick together and basically let Joe Biden just kind of ride it out until the end? Because my personal belief is that eventually he will get the notice that, hey, like, it's not going too hot. Post-debate, it's been really awful. A lot of people are asking you to step down. Sir, respectfully, we think you should step down, right? But because the Republicans, after the 34 felony counts, which was really awful for him, by the way, and it was awful for his campaign. Once he had the 34 felony counts, a lot of Republicans within the party, they were like, okay, that's it. Like, we're done with this guy. There's a population of Republicans that are not down now because of the 34 felony counts.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. The Democratic Party is a real political party. It is made up of various coalitions and various interest groups.
See?
And various demographic groups, okay?
Give me a breath.
Like, it's made up of unions, black voters, okay? Largely women as well. Like, people act like Republicans like to stereotype the average Democrat as being like this white hipster. No, your average Democrat is a black or Latino woman who makes no money at all doing some service job. If we really want to be real, your average Democrat in America is a black or Latino woman.
You mean me?
Yes, your average Democrat is a black or Latino woman.
Oh, that makes me feel really good.
No, like Republicans like to stereotype like Democrats as being like these hipsters who like are trust fund babies. That's not true. Your average Democrat is literally a poor person.
Not poor, but okay, but I am black.
Like, and so essentially we're a big party. We're a big tent party. We have a large coalition and we have to have everybody agree on something to some degree in order to move forward.
True.
Republicans are a smaller party. They're a cult. All right, Republicans are made up of 3 different groups. You have business Republicans, evangelical Christians, and like the third group is kind of like the far right or like fascists.
The
you know what I
weirdos.
mean? Yes. All right. And,
So weird.
and like business Republicans tend to be like, I just want lower taxes. I don't care if gay people can get married. I don't care if like black people can vote. As long as you lower my taxes, I don't care about anything.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's so true.
Evangelicals are the least popular of the big 3 because like they enforce social policies that nobody even really wants, and as a result, like when they win,
Evangelicals?
yeah, no one like
They're like so weird.
they are no evangelical Christians they're like the most unpopular and the most authoritarian because they know they actually can't win elections because they know everything they like is like completely unpopular in every way, and so like it's just harder for Democrats to like get behind something because there's just more Democrats. We're a larger party with more voices. You know what I mean?
So then why are we struggling to get, if we're a big tent party, why is it that Donald Trump is surging in the polls and making headway? Like, why is he beating Joe Biden in basically all the polls?
I mean, honestly, it's a poll. Fuck, 1 and 2. We're a polarized country. Like,
But you said it's a big tent party, and Joe has more people out there in this big tent. So why aren't more people saying I'm gonna vote for Joe Biden than Donald Trump?
I mean, honestly, like it's a lot of things. 1, we're a polarized country. 2, a lot of Americans don't vote and aren't interested in politics. You know what I mean? Like American voter turnout is like what, like 60, like less than 60% or something like that. Like
That vote.
yeah.
The last couple of elections, though, a lot of more people have come out to vote. Like
that's cool.
a lot of people came out to vote for Joe Biden.
Well, let's Google this. Huh? American voter turnout 2020.
What was the last question? 'Cause I think we need to like wrap it up. Why can't Democrats stick together the way Republicans do? And I think it's because
Okay, 2/3. Never mind. All right.
Republics that means 66% of the population comes out to vote, so it's almost 70%. That's not a bad number, by the way.
No, it isn't. But here's the thing: since we're a bigger party, when more people vote, we win. That's the thing. Republicans want elections to have lower turnouts. When since we're a larger party, when we just vote on raw numbers, Democrats win.
Yeah, because the Democrats keep winning the popular vote. I don't think the Republicans have won the popular vote
Since 2004.
Right, and actually, you know what? Let's just wrap it up. What do you think should happen here going forward? Should Joe step down and give it to Kamala or no?
No, he should run a more aggressive campaign. He should attack Trump on Trump being a fascist. Because here's the thing. Polling shows that when Americans learn about Project 2025, Project 2025, for those who don't know, is a policy document. Yes, thank you, friend. I really appreciate that.
Joe Biden, it's really bad.
It is a Christian nationalist white supremacist document that basically says we're going to blow up the government and make sure that no one other
No more ACA, so if you have Obamacare, you can forget about
no more ACA, no more Department of Education. Black people can't vote
no
anymore.
more EPA.
Gay people can't get married anymore.
Nope.
All right, women
They're
can't.
gonna
Women
roll
have
back
no
the
vote.
Civil rights.
Yeah, women have no abortion and no voting rights.
Oh yeah, absolutely no abortion.
It is the most insane Christian fascist.
Oh yeah, they're gonna put a Christian nationalism stuff in place
Yes.
because
So if you are Jewish, Muslim, Hindu, atheist, Buddhist, you have no rights in this Christian fascist America that Project 2025 wants.
Religion in schools.
Yes, they're going to put religion in schools. And here's the thing. When even, like, they've done studies on this. When even Republicans find out about what's in 2025, even Republicans don't like this. No, seriously.
It's
They
bad.
asked a bunch of... No,
It's really
no,
bad.
truly.
Even Donald Trump was like, I don't know what's going on in there. Even he didn't want to talk about it because it's so
No,
bad.
they interviewed a bunch of, like, Republicans, like, so do you support this policy? And like, no, that's insane. Like, they were like, so do you support the policy that we would get rid of the Veterans Administration? And they're like, wait, what? No, that's insane. Like, are you kidding me? No, yeah, it's like, no, Project 2025 says we need to get rid of the VA and make sure that, and so we can ensure veterans don't get anything because, like, veterans, like, take money from the government. And they're like, that's
it's because
insane.
Donald Trump believes that people who go to war and, come back and have problems are losers. That's why. He doesn't respect military personnel. I respect military personnel. Anybody that goes to war for your country, anybody that does something that sacrificial, I think, deserves at the very least housing, counseling, and
Yes.
help when they come back.
I agree, yes.
And have full health care benefits.
You
when
know,
they get back.
veterans should have a
I
support
am
system.
so-
I agree with you,
so
yes.
sorry. That whole military people are the ones that didn't make it or losers and all that crap he says about military personnel. I'm like, sir, you have not met military personnel. They are awesome people.
Yes, they are.
They're very disciplined.
Yes,
people.
very much so.
Okay, thank you. So you think that he should stay and run the course?
Yes,
within
no,
the
but
next 4
be
months?
more aggressive. Attack Trump on 2025 because again, it's unpopular,
It's ridiculous.
and then also attack Trump on being a convicted felon. If Biden goes to the next debate because they're planning the next debate or they're planning to have one, I don't know. Biden just needs to say two things. One, Trump is a Christian fascist who wants to destroy the government with Project 2025, and then also he needs to say that Trump is a convicted felon. Those are the only two things, and he'll win the next debate. That's it. Just say Trump's a convicted felon. Trump is a convicted felon.
Right.
Look into the camera, Joe. Joe, I'm speaking to you personally. Mr. Biden, President Biden, I want you to say to the American people, Donald Trump is a convicted felon. You will win that debate. That's all you need to say.
And that's all you should.
Hell,
say
even
for the debate.
even sprinkle in he's a rapist and a racist.
He sure is. Big time. I think post the first debate, he should step down.
Oh well.
Okay, and me personally, I'm saying it because at this point, too many Democrats have called on him to step down.
Only 12 out of like 200. Fuck him.
No. Too many people are calling for him to step down, which shows a lack of cohesion, a lack of team effort as far as the Democrats go. The news media is very negative towards Joe Biden, which I'm kind of really disappointed in, by the way, especially you, Joe. And
They
Joe.
want Trump to win. Fuck corporate
Yeah,
media.
they do. They really do.
Yes.
Oh, and okay, hopefully I'll have a clip at the end of this. Basically, okay, so me personally, I think he should step down because right now there's no cohesion within the party and there's a lot of lack of, pro-Biden, in general, it's just not pro-Biden and the liberal media. The liberal media, y'all dropped the ball on this one. And basically, I was watching a clip that one of my cousins sent me that said that back in the days when Donald Trump was running, the media, including the liberal media, made a decision that they would play more Trump clips and talk about him more because ratings. literally, because of ratings. And because Donald Trump gets a lot of these news stations ratings, and I've said it before, a lot of these pundits, a lot of these Joe and what's his name? Joe and Mika, and Jake Tappers and all these other people on, Chris Hayes, and who else is on CNN? Sanjay Gupta and all these folks. Even though they talk like liberals and they talk to me and Rami, these are very rich people. All right, all these anchors on ABC, MSNBC, CNN, and MSN, and other liberal stations, they're rich. All right, you can Google what they get paid, and they get bonuses based probably on ratings, which means that why would you vote for Joe Biden? Joe Biden's gonna make your taxes go up. You want those Trump tax cuts to stay in place because you're making millions and millions of dollars. So I don't think the media is fooling me anymore. I hope they're not fooling you anymore. If you find yourself watching Donald Trump TV, DDTJ TV all day, it's because when they put him on the screen, people watch, even if they're outraged. And remember, whatever you're paying attention to in PR and marketing, it doesn't matter if you get negative attention or positive attention. It's whether people are paying attention or not. You watch Housewives of New Jersey and Housewives of DC and Housewives of whatever this and that, or whatever reality TV show you watch, not because it's great, it's because it keeps your attention. And that's what the liberal and actually forget about Fox News. They're just fucking nuts. But the liberal media are in on it too. They're just in it to make money. And that's really sad. But me personally, I think Biden should step down because the Democratic Party is not in unison. I think he looks weak. They have made him look weak. Biden should have never taken this debate with Trump. And I think we're in a really bad situation. I'm panicking every single day until was it November 5th? And I'll say this much too. Do you want to say one last thing? Because after this...
No, I'm kind of hungry. Can we end this?
Okay, we're going to end this, and I'm going to say this. I think what we all need to do is we need to take off our televisions. Literally. Take off the TV, and on November 5th, just vote for whoever is on the ticket for the Democratic ticket. Like, I'm voting for Kamala. I'm voting for Joe. I don't care what happens. I don't care if he slips and falls on television on a banana peel and lands on a fucking skunk or a goddamn porcupine. And I don't care. I don't care if he has 900 senior moments. I don't care if he forgets Jill's name. I don't care who's on the ticket. Take off your televisions and vote Democratic in 2020.